Welcome to today's BlyktCast, where I'll be playing Assault Android Cactus. Joining me today is my friend Chris.
Hi, I'm Chris.
Yes, that is Chris. We're gonna get started off by just doing some simple talking about games we've been playing recently. What are you playing right now, Chris?
Currently I am playing Final Fantasy 14.
How is
Yeah,
that?
it's a game. It's not bad. It's not good.
It's
Oh,
that's
oh, let me rephrase it. It's not bad, but it could be a lot better in many ways.
that's not the Realms Reborn one, is it? The subscription-based online one?
No, it is. It's after. It's obviously after they did the whole take down every server for the game and redo the entire game. Since when they first put Final Fantasy 14 out, it kind of blew.
Did it? I didn't play it. I knew it was out. I didn't know they wiped it or changed anything about it.
They wiped the entire thing, and basically started from scratch.
Oh, well, the last few games for Final Fantasy they've put out haven't been record-breaking great anyway.
No, all the Final Fantasy 13 games have just been kind of
I agree, definitely. I have all of the 13s, and I played them to play them, but I didn't really like it.
Have you touched the new one that just came out like a week ago?
No, I saw Lance talking about it.
Yeah, Lightning Returns. Again, it got mixed reviews, some good, some bad, yada yada.
I bought it one time for the full retail price, and after that, I didn't touch part 2 or anything for full retail.
It's just kind of like, it's there. It's a Final Fantasy game. It's what you expect out of a Final Fantasy game. Same goes towards this. It's what you expect out of a Final Fantasy game mixed with an MMO. It's flashy. It's got a story of Final Fantasy. Sorry. But yeah, it's flashy. It's got the obvious MMO characteristics, crafting, character customization. My main thing about MMOs is UI customization.
Yeah.
I am anal about it.
Yeah, I know you like your customizations on UIs, where I usually like to stick to default unless it's something that needs to be changed.
Everything gets moved around for me. I like to condense everything to the sides of the screen so that I have my whole screen to use for the game.
I definitely agree with that. I don't mind that. I like that too in some games, but there are some games where it is then, if I started out before I changed, it just feels natural because I used that for the first amount of time I did it.
Yeah, like WoW, for example, you can download an infinite amount of add-ons to change the UI to fit your personal options, your personal views for it. Same goes to Rift. Not so many add-ons, but Rift has an excellent customization system for the UI that you can move anything and get rid of anything, change it to where when it's inactive, it doesn't show. Whenever you mouse over it, it pops up so you can use it, and when it's not, you don't see it.
Yeah, I do like that. I think the reason that I don't necessarily always change UIs, or I just stick to default too, is because EverQuest in the beginning, your UI was your UI, and it's just because I never really opted with playing with different UIs when they did come out that default in most cases just feels natural because that's what I get used to in the beginning.
Yeah, I can understand that. WoW, I never changed my UI until like end of Wrath, beginning. No, it might have been halfway through Cataclysm where I started changing my UI.
I never changed mine either until I saw yours and I had you change it for me. Just because I thought it looked neater than mine.
Yeah, the only reason I never changed is because I never really knew about it. I kind of started playing with the old UI because I started playing back when the game was in alpha. So it was like I had the old UI where it all looked awful.
Yeah. Everyone usually plays, on those games third person, and I think sometimes, depending on the game, it definitely can either take up a lot of space, the default, or it allows enough space that you just don't mind it. I think WoW, though, they just don't give you enough options to begin with.
But WoW allows for add-ons.
Well, yeah, I do give them that. Their add-on collection is pretty decent, and you're allowed to customize a lot of things. Definitely like the scrolling damage and healing, where you can have like damage going up and healing going down type things in the UI.
That's easily one of my most favorite things for that, because it just makes it seem more streamlined instead of having all the numbers pop above heads and just cluttering the screen.
Yeah, I think that's what actually got me into add-ons, was I saw you or Nathan, someone who had that as an add-on. Like, I don't use add-ons, but that looks really neat. What is that? And that's how I got into the whole changing everything up. And I think that's what really, it gave me more perspective on how games can change in the UI's perspective and add-ons.
I
Outside
just
of, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh.
God damn it.
Either one. I was just gonna say, outside of Final Fantasy, what else have you been playing?
Rift. I mentioned that. I stopped a while back because I kind of just hit a block. Like right after you hit 50, it just slows down immensely. You go from maybe 200, 300,000 experience per level, straight up to 2.5 million per level, and then all the way up to 5 million once you hit 59 to 60.
Oh yeah, I hated the 50. That's why I stopped too.
It's kind of a damper on it, but once you get back into the flow of playing, it kind of speeds back up because I got 4 or 5 levels in a day at one point.
Well, that's not bad. I think my whole thing was once my patron status ran out, I was just like, well, I don't want to keep doing this, and I'm already at a standstill where I've played this so much, I just don't want to keep doing it because it seems so slow. I feel like I could get back into it now because it's been so long, but during those times where we were constantly only just playing that, I think I really burned myself out.
Yeah, that's how I felt.
And then once you were so used to that, having that bonus status, once that went away, I was like, well, this kind of puts a damper on things.
Yeah, it was just kind of like, hey, we get all this extra stuff, just for... Because we went out and bought the Storm Legion expansion from Walmart. Because, they stopped selling digital physical copies of it, so we found a few digital copies at a Walmart nearby. So we went out and grabbed those, and we got free patron status for a month, as well as permanent bag space, character slots, etc.
Yeah, once you have that, though, it's just like... And then once you lose it, you kind of, like, you feel spoiled almost, and then, like, once that's gone, it's no longer as enjoyable because you lose all these little bonuses that you could have.
Right. And even after you lose it, you still get it's basically a care package every once in a while from whenever you go to their cash shop. Oh, yeah. You'll see like a daily gift or a weekly gift. You'll basically just get a care package that has 3 of all the max experience boosters for like skills, PvP, cool. Collecting.
See, that's what I really was upset about losing, was all those little bonuses that gave advantage and XP gain, all those I don't know if they were factions, but they were PvP gains for X amount of time, and you just kept...
Yeah, there were reputation gains as well that increased your notoriety.
Yeah, then once you lose that and you just have already burned yourself out, that's when you really just... You don't want to keep on playing it. I could definitely see myself playing it again, though, now.
Yeah, essentially the same thing happened when we played Terra. We had the patron or the veteran status for like a month, and then it kind of just... We were spoiled.
Yeah, I think a lot of games try to spoil you, and then for me, though, once that spoiling runs out, and you've burned yourself out because you played so much during that time, it really just kind of kills the essence of the game.
It just feels like everything is just slowed down by a landslide compared to playing it before.
Oh yeah, like I'm all for the spoiling, don't get me wrong, but the drastic changes that happen once you just lose it, it makes you dread it because everything feels like it's going so much slower.
And I mean, most games are $15 a month for just for a single month.
Yeah, I think that's the average rate.
Yeah, because I think that's what Elder Scrolls Online is going to, as well as I know WoW is $15. It's either $14 or $15 a month.
Yeah, EverQuest used to be that until they just went free to play. You can still get a status for $15 a month, which would be just like subscribing, which you can do everything then.
Yeah, that's what Rift basically is. Same goes to Terra. It's free to play entirely. There's no restrictions on the game.
Yeah.
It's just like if you pay the subscription fee, you get some extra stuff. And it's essentially like spoiling because it gives you these daily or weekly boosts that just help you go through the game quickly till you can, max out.
Yeah. I'm all for, like I said, the whole spoiling factor, but I feel like sometimes the how spoiled they make you, and then they just drop it out of nowhere and don't give like a slow scale. It's just kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, like I can understand, like because in Rift you had the 7 charges of each booster. Oh, yeah. Like if you were to just like kept those when the patron status ran out, and you just had those 7 charges left on each of them, that'd be cool. It's weaning you off it instead of just dropping it all at once. Yeah,
there definitely should be like a scaling system, not just, hey, by the way, this is gone now. See ya, enjoy.
Yeah, 'cause that's basically what I've done for Final Fantasy. because I caught it on Amazon when it was half priced. Because
Mm-hmm.
my sister-in-law has Amazon Prime, so I just used that.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, so I caught it for $15 for the game and a month of subscription. So I bought that for my girlfriend and me.
Oh, you
And
both are playing it now?
mm,
Oh, that's cool. I've thought about it because Steam always brings it up on the side.
yeah, it's there.
But I'm
No,
really
but
into this cactus, the Android Assault Cactus. Let me tell you,
Yeah, how's that?
it's really good. It's kind of reminds me of just the little plug-in on Black Ops, like you said mentioned earlier. How it kind of seems like that. It does feel like that to me, except it's interesting. It definitely keeps you going because you always want to achieve or strive for the best rank you can get in the game. And I think right now it's an S, and let me tell you, that's not easy.
You ever play Geometry Wars on 360?
No, I haven't actually.
It's a lot like that. It's really fast-paced.
There are a lot.
But
There are a lot of games on Xbox I still want to get.
Geometry Wars is a really, really, really fast-paced game. It keeps you on your toes the entire time until you run out of lives. I think you have 3 or 4, maybe 5 lives, and you can get in every some odd. I think it's 100,000 or a million points. I don't remember.
Oh, I haven't played it. I know I know what your concept you're talking about though, because I know a few games that are like that.
Yeah, it's just like all this extra stuff you can do.
You can get more lives as you play, as long as you keep up a certain score type deal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know that whole spiel.
It's like the whole Mario thing or Sonic thing. You get 100 rings or 100 coins. Hey, here's an extra life so you can keep playing.
Yeah,
That's like old school Mario and Sonic.
yeah, that is pretty old school, I have to say. I think my favorite buy out of the week, aside from Cactus from Steam, is either Binary Domain or Ace of Spades.
Ace of Spades is that Minecraft shooter, right?
Yeah, and you can actually build your own terrain though, and then go multiplayer with it, which I think's cool. The battleground can literally be what you choose it to be, or you can play someone else's pre-made one. That's fine too. But I
Oh
think
yeah, of course.
being able to like make your own terrain to do the shooter on was definitely a cool concept they added. I liked it.
It's also something you could, in theory, abuse. Just like make a spot that only you know how to get to, or that you can get to per se,
Well, everything can
and
be
then just get
destroyed.
there. Oh yeah, 'cause that's Minecraft, destructible world.
Like I found some spots of some maps that people have thought to do that, but once you throw so many grenades around, those spots are going to get revealed anyway.
Oh yeah, it is destructible world.
Yeah, which is pretty cool too. Not that that's a whole new concept in itself, but
Yeah, Battlefield's been doing that for ages.
being able to make tunnels all the way from one base to another, even though that's lengthy, is still pretty fun.
Yeah, it's just a different way to play the game, basically.
Yeah, mind you, it's not going to take long for somebody to find it, but I did that a few times. It took maybe 20 minutes of just tunneling, and when I got to the end, I just got shot.
Mm-hmm.
And then they started using that, unfortunately, to get back to our base to get the flag, and it keeps your mind, like, not bored per se. It's definitely just fun.
It's just simple-minded fun. It's Call of Duty, basically. Simple-minded fun, easy. Jump in a match, play for a little bit, and you can just move on.
Yeah, I do kind of like that. It's a Minecraft type idea based world, but it is pretty much like Call of Duty sense where you just want to jump into a match real quick, play, maybe do something else, which is what I did that night. I jumped between Ace of Spades and Strider, and actually I bought a really cool game that just got off the green light. Reaper: The Tales of a Pale Swordsman.
I have not even heard of it. I don't really keep up with Greenlight games.
I don't either, but I've found that in the green light like game sections, there's some pretty interesting things in there. Like some things that still need help getting made that I definitely have like said, hey, I definitely like this, and help put forward because like this is actually a really cool concept. But why don't we have a game like this yet?
Yeah, it's essentially Steam's version of Kickstarter or Indiegogo.
Yeah, and I'm all for that. Like I found some cool games. I'm like, hey, I'll definitely
Always support indie developers. They are basically the building blocks for making new games that are actually innovative and good,
yeah.
as opposed to rolling out the same game every year. Hint, hint, Activision, Call of Duty.
A lot of big brand companies or bigger like division brands have been doing that with a lot of games lately though, because if they know it's gonna sell, they don't have to change it much.
Exactly.
And that's with movies too. If you notice in the movie world, like you don't see many new movies. You see remakes nowadays or the same general concept from something just remade.
Yeah, you're just like seeing remakes of old movies like Godzilla, for example.
Yeah, because
That's
people
coming
are
out.
gonna, people are gonna watch it. It's not. They'd rather not put a lot of risk into it and just make something they know is gonna sell rather than taking a chance.
They want to make the money before they potentially lose it.
Yeah, but with a company like that who's making so much money off just their games, I don't understand why they don't ever take a chance to branch out of something and actually try to make something that's going to be a game changer, not just a rinse and repeat copy game.
But Activision didn't mix in a new developer for the Call of Duty games. They're now on a 3-year cycle opposed to 2-year.
Oh yeah?
They added Sledgehammer. They helped make Ghosts with Infinity Ward.
I was not aware of that.
Yeah, they added them into the mix. So it's going to be on a 3-year cycle. So I believe Treyarch is coming out next this year.
Which would be a Black Ops related game.
Or, it's going to be a zombies game. It's always going to have zombies. So that's, Black Ops thing.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. That would probably lead to a Black Ops title if it's them.
It might be a Black Ops style. It might be a completely new storyline.
Yeah. I think they played off Black Ops 2 well, though. The storyline was pretty solid.
They usually do really nice storylines. Can't say much for Ghost. I never played it.
I personally didn't like the storyline. You love and hate the multiplayer because they're not good at balancing their weapons at all. Like 10 out of 10, if someone catches you with a shotgun around the corner,
You're done.
You're done. There's no countering it. There's nothing to it, and
that's how it's supposed to work for shotgun. You're supposed to be close quarters combat. CQB. It's right next to everyone.
It is.
You want to
take into consideration the majority of the maps are close ranged maps.
True. They're all tight knit, high pace.
There are some really large maps. Like I can't remember what it was called, but it's huge. Like it's sniper everywhere.
Very sniper friendly.
Yeah, it's very. I thought that was a pretty cool map, but Ghost all in all for me, it failed, but it's still a game I like just because it kills time.
It's like one of those games like, hey, it's good, but it's not groundbreakingly good.
No, like, I think that was the same with Battlefield 4, though. Like, I played it, and I was hoping it'd be better, but to me it feels like I'm playing Battlefield 3, except bigger maps, and new customization options, which those are cool. I do like the customization that they have in it now, but it's nothing game-changing, and the maps and the gameplay to me still feel 100% the same.
Yeah, they didn't do much change to how the game felt. Obviously, you can't do that with one iteration of a game, like going from 3 to 4. Especially when they didn't, do a Bad Company for 3. Because the Bad Company is what really refined Battlefield 2. Battlefield Bad Company 2 was amazing.
I absolutely loved Battlefield 2 for the PC, let me tell you. That was my game. Because the medals, they used to have incentives for the medals back then. Now they just really... You get them for XP bonuses, but back then it used to be a whole, like, not an award system, but it used to be part of, like, you could look at people's profiles and see they have X award, and that used to be something.
It was a bragging factor, basically.
It was, but some of those, you had to be pretty impressive to get them.
Yeah, you can see the same in most FPS games now. Halo, you can see it. Call of Duty, all the Call of Duty games. You can see it, honestly, you can see it in mostly any online game. World of Warcraft, they have plenty of bragging rights for achievements. Rift has achievements, this game has achievements.
I'd rather not have bragging rights and more things that are open to me in the game because I did something that was incredibly hard to do.
Right.
Like how just one example, Resident Evil 4, you beat that on, I can't remember what difficulty it was, and you got a Tommy gun with unlimited ammo to play through the game again and destroy it.
Yeah, it's a bonus. It's an incentive to do something well.
Yeah, and then I guess everyone's incentive nowadays is just bragging rights, and to me I still like the bonus or exclusives that I get to replay the game for fun now because I did this, and it just doesn't hold the same factor in most games anymore.
Right. AC4 did a really interesting thing, or Assassin's Creed 4 rather, opposed to abbreviating it. In the game you have the whole animus system. It's not really related to the storyline of Desmond in any way. I don't mean to spoil anything, but
it's fine.
Yeah.
If any, there's still, I'm sure, a few, but
yeah, but
it's been out a while now.
They had in the main storyline of Edward, you had animus challenges, which once you complete 10 animus challenges, you unlock a cheat. It's not really a cheat per se. It's more of a game modifier, which I mean, I guess you can call it a cheat, but it modifies the game in a not so normal way. It makes it different. It makes it fun.
Yeah, I didn't finish playing through it. I still want to at some point, but for some reason I get into it and then I was like, God, I am tired of doing this. Why am I doing it?
It's like all the ship battles, just going around the ship so many times, you kind of get.
Yeah,
I won't say tired of it. It's really fun just to.
Oh yeah.
Pilot the ship all around the seas. It's fun. They did an awesome job with ship battles compared to
like the ship
AC3.
battles. But at the same time, those ship battles can also just get annoying when you have to do it so many times.
Yeah, I know that feeling. You know how I logged like 150 total
Yeah.
hours in that game.
You definitely put some hours into it, and I tried to put some hours into it. Like, I was definitely getting into it, playing it nonstop. But once it got to the constant ship battles, I'm like, I like the ship battles and all, but I'd actually like to, play the assassins part where I jump around and snipe people for fun.
AC4 took away from the actual assassins. Well, they took a step away, rather, as opposed to taking away from the assassins. They took a step away in the sense that they made it more upfront. Because, pirates, they're not exactly stealthy people. They're upfront in your face.
Yeah. They're belligerent.
They're drunks.
The
they want to
take...
They want to take the most direct route to get what they need.
Yeah, I understand that, but at the same time, I think their combat system in AC4 was really cool, and I think, to me, I would have liked to play more combat and ship because of how fun it was just to do some of the things on there with the combat system. Like, don't get me wrong, there's still a ton of things you can do combat with, but it's like I get two things that allow, combat, stealth, get something, and then the next 8 hours of gameplay is, here's a ship, we're going to go across here and search these boats or get a boat down for something.
Yeah. It felt repetitive to an extent, but at the same time, they mixed it up a lot better than 3.
Oh, yeah.
3, I think they've tried to force the whole new aspects of the game, like ship battles. They tried to force it, as well as being able to climb through trees. Now, they tried to force those a little too much, in my opinion.
I only played 3 for a little bit, even. Like, I didn't play 3 a whole lot. But I think, all in all, 4 was definitely a good game. I'm not going to say it wasn't. It's just I personally haven't beaten it yet because some things are too repetitive for me, and I'm not against that. It's just sometimes you need a break, and if you burn yourself out too fast, that break can be quite a while.
And you can see that from us playing Rift.
Yeah.
We played it for about a month and a half straight. We got burned out, and we couldn't touch it anymore.
Yeah, we did play that like non-stop. Like, we were always doing rifts, giant rift bosses, doing all those. My whole reasoning for really stopping was putting all that money in the fashion shop constantly.
Oh, yeah.
Because I would just, Chris, hand me my wallet. Chris, hand me my wallet.
Yeah, it was non-stop. Just like, hey, where's my wallet at?
Yeah.
And then the times where you just could not find your wallet.
Happens. I think
because for some reason you just refuse to keep your credentials in the system.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't keep your credentials. That was the thing.
No, it definitely does. Because mine, my old debit card's still locked in. Mind you, my old debit card's deleted because of the whole Target incident.
Oh yeah, that hurt my mom too. It didn't hurt me, but I know I heard about it a few times around.
So my debit card was canceled. Scott Credit Union canceled all debit cards, or all debit cards that had shopped at Target.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Every single one got canceled, and they got new cards issued to them.
Yeah.
Which, mind you, it's not a bad thing. It's a really nice thing to do.
Oh, that's a nice thing to do, but that reminds me, when that whole incident happened, they sent my mom 2 of the same cards. When they issued her a new card, they gave her 2 of the same cards, and I don't know, it caused a problem apparently.
Yeah, I can understand why, because you have two of the same cards that one's supposed to do this, the other's supposed to do the exact same thing.
Yeah.
It's just kind of a hassle for the system to recognize which one is the correct one to work with.
Pretty much.
But no, I always keep my debit card credentials locked into certain spots. Steam and Blizzard are the 2 I trust. Well, and Microsoft.
Yeah,
those are the few I trust.
I keep mine with Microsoft, but there's sometimes where I have to remove it forcibly. Otherwise, I will spend it because I can. Like with a Happy Wars, you could spend money to get cards, to get better gear. And while I was after my surgery, I obviously wasn't in the right state of mind. I had painkillers in my system constantly, and I spent maybe $300 or $400 on Happy Packs just to get gear because that was the only fun thing I could do.
Right.
After the surgery. So there were times where I'd remove it and I'd just instantly go back and add it, but I'd make it at least a challenge instead of instantly available.
Right.
Like I tried, didn't work, but I tried.
That's basically what Steam became to me for a little bit, like especially over the summer and winter. And anytime they have a sale, I have a hard time not buying games. 'Cause I need to tell myself I don't need to spend the money because I need to save my money instead.
I think more so when I'm doing this though now, like making these podcasts, I'm definitely gonna find myself spending even more money on just random games because I feel like it's not my job per se to do so, but I want to just play different games that I've never even heard about and give my own review on it. And that's what this whole spending spree was. It wasn't many games, but I'm playing this Assault
3 or 4
Cactus.
games.
Yeah, I'm playing Assault Cactus right now, and I'm sure the next time I play it'll be one of the other games I bought. And I definitely recommend this, by the way, to anyone who does have like $15 for an early access game. This is a really good game for being early access, and there's still many more developments to be made. Just don't expect to play it with your friends, as we found out, because right now it's only in local
co-op, which is really weird considering, it's 2014. Most games don't even have local co-op anymore. They don't even have split screen for the most part.
Yeah, you don't really ever hear that. I was surprised when I found out, but it is early access. I'm sure it'll happen. They're working as is to put out the stages, because as you can see here, Justice, Venom, there's a question mark, so that's supposed to be another boss in Showdown. These aren't even made yet, outside of all the other options that are going to open up when you do finish.
Yeah, it's more planned than anything.
Yeah. I mean, I think they just had a recent update, and I think that's why... I don't think that's why it attracted me, but I realized, like, hey, they're actually working on this right now. And
as opposed to
things are
some developers
out.
Just dropping a game and like, hey, we made enough. Don't worry about it anymore.
Yeah, and I've known games like that where they'll say it's early access. I stumbled upon a few, and the last time they did an update was like a couple months ago.
I mean, that can also be a whole funding issue.
Oh, I don't disagree, but at the same time, I'm not going to buy a game that's not openly being developed at that time because there's little to do as is, where this game, it has a ton of replayability because you obviously want to strive for the best grade you can get per game.
And obviously that'll appeal to certain people.
Yeah, and I'm not even a huge person for that, but I feel like in this game, I can see myself doing it because an individual android is going to change your entire score overall because they can do so many different things.
Yeah, it's just different abilities, different character, different ways to play the game.
Yeah, like having a person who can use a shotgun, an assault rifle, laser beams, a halo, like they all play and take out crowds a different way. And sometimes that android's not going to take out a crowd for that certain stage, and they'll probably give you a better score. Mind you,
Right.
List right now playing Starch and nothing else because she's fun to play and I can do fine. But I'm probably, if I want to S rank everything, I'm definitely going to have to play all the other androids and find out which one's going to do the job best.
Right. Because each one is going to have their own special specialization.
Now, I can tell you, Starch is not the one for large crowds.
Oh, God, no. Starch is the one for single target.
Single target, high burst. Because you don't have to aim anything. You can just put it out there. Also, though, I did find out something interesting about Starch that makes her kind of unique, rather. You can run through crowds, no problem, because when you run with your laser, it just mows them down instantly. So you don't get stuck in a crowd, which I like.
Oh, that's good.
Mind you, when I'm playing a stage like this right now, where all these bees are coming from nowhere, and I can't get a battery because the force of the map is pulling me somewhere else, that's a problem, but you adapt. There are definitely the power-ups that really are game changers.
And again, different android will have a different way to deal with said problem.
Oh, yeah. I think what Starch, outside of her laser, her biggest thing over everybody is the fact that her missiles are rechargeable every now and then. They're random. They'll hit anything. But you can just constantly spam them, and they'll wipe out major groups. Let's see here. And definitely, when you're playing her, you definitely want the yellow power-up. That is speed, and you need speed if you're going to play her to maneuver.
Yeah, because single target, high damage for single target, you need to be moving around a lot in order to get every target hit.
Yeah, that's definitely... That's her thing. I just found a stage actually that I didn't beat with her, and I forgot, so I tried to play it with her, and it just went horribly.
Right.
I have been playing Starch for most of this though, so I definitely think I'm about to change it up to somebody. Let's try out Coral. She's shotgun.
Yeah, I was using her for Vespula.
Oh, that's definitely not a bad idea. I didn't. I used this Lemon for spread shot. I don't. A lot of people from the reviews I read really like Lemon, but her spread shot's too spread.
Yeah, but as the weapon powers up, it gets more, I want to say more condensed, the bullets just get bigger.
Oh man, Cactus, when she's full powered up, is crazy.
Yeah, the bullets are fucking huge.
Like, she will do some damage. That's the same thing with Starch, though. Her beam gets bigger, or fatter, rather. Like, it just becomes larger and just puts out more single target damage.
Right.
Shotgun, though, with Coral, you can just turn in the corner, spray, zoom back around, everything's dead.
Everything is kicked in the head, basically.
But, unfortunately with her, you know, she can't just run through everything. She'll get stuck really fast. And that's the whole part of this, is just running around. I think that was my same thing with one of the other games I bought that I ended up, I like it, but I just stopped playing it for a little bit, was Strider.
Mm-hmm.
I play it with the controller, so it's a little easier, but it just, the directions on that game and some of the, like, routing options available, just, they don't seem that great.
And that's another greenlit game, isn't it?
Strider, no, that wasn't. That was it actually
Full
came
retail?
out of a big franchise, because I can't remember what franchise it branched off of, but it was one of those Assassin games from back in the day.
Gotcha. Speaking of Assassin games, Thief came out recently. I think it actually came out today for the public.
Did it really?
Or yesterday, technically. No.
So, I haven't seen anything. Oh wait, yeah, I did. It was it's kind of like I'm not gonna say Assassin's Creed, but it gave you have two choices in that game basically. You can do everything stealthy wise, or
No, you really have a choice. You gotta be stealthy, because if you get two or more people on you, you'll die.
Is that what it is? I read that you did have the option to kill.
I mean, if you put it on easy, you can kill everyone.
That's probably
But
what I was reading. There was people playing it on easy. I don't know. I watched a review on it and stuff, and that's kind of how I found out about the game. Was they were telling me, you know, it's kind of like you can either play it safe and just be stealthy, or you can be exposed.
Dishonored would be, I don't want to say a good comparison, but it'd be a easily understood comparison in the sense that in Dishonored you could literally run around, be stealthy as possible, and not get seen by a single person, or you could kill everyone in sight.
I never played Dishonored. I've always wanted to, and I still don't know why I haven't, but I just haven't.
Think of Dishonored as basically a
I'm dead again.
stealthy Skyrim, like an intentionally stealthy Skyrim.
Oh man.
Obviously, it doesn't feel like Skyrim, but it's made by same people.
Yeah. I got you.
I believe it was. It's
I don't know.
Arcade Studios, which is a part of ZeniMax.
I think the whole reason I didn't get it was because I heard so many mixed things about it. Like,
Yeah.
I heard it was really good, or I heard it was actually really bad, and I'm just like, there's no in between here.
Same goes to Thief. There's been a lot of really, really bad reviews, and there are a lot of really, really, I don't want to say a lot of them, but there've been a mix of each. Total Biscuit did a review on, I think it was Sunday, or it might have been Sunday, I don't remember. But he did a review on it, and he praised the game quite a bit, and I can understand why. But he also took away from the game in certain spots, also understandably.
I think everyone in the end is going to have their own opinion on the game, but sometimes I find myself, if it's a game that's either praised or disliked so heavily and there's no in between, that there's a reason. Like, there has to be something in that game that you're either going to love or you're going to hate, and there's no in between.
Right.
And that's why I haven't played Dishonored yet, is because I want to play every game, and I definitely give most games a chance, but when there's no in between, like, reviews, that means it's only going to appeal to certain taste.
Yeah, there's some people that are going to thoroughly enjoy the game. Thief, incredible amounts of options and customization for the difficulty and how you want to play the game, which makes it incredibly good. But the gameplay, it feels like they stuck a lot of stuff in and didn't follow through with all of it.
Oh, that's always fun.
Like, all the makings for a good stealth assassin game are there. They just didn't follow through with all of it.
They just took the general idea and then they kind of just did their own thing in the end.
Basically.
I mean, I'm not gonna hate them for that. Like, that's just doing your own thing, but
Right.
you do have a market you have to appeal to at the same time.
And especially with this, they were trying to reboot a franchise. Thief.
Yeah.
Older game came out almost a decade ago, I believe.
I am just losing to every freaking stage I do tonight. Probably because I'm not playing Starch.
Fucking no. Final Fantasy 14. I'd recommend it if you want your usual MMO experience. You just want another MMO in the cycle to play. Aside from that, it feels like an MMO. The systems in it, they're nice. They feel like a mixture of
Yeah, how's the combat system?
combat system. It's an MMO. It's a little slower paced because the global cooldown. In MMOs, you have a global cooldown. You can't spam an ability constantly. Most global cooldowns in the games 1 second. This game is 2 seconds, so it feels really slow paced.
Oh, okay.
At first, it turned me off, but then once you get used to it, it's kind of
that's a whole.
It feels nice once you get used to it.
See, I'm surprised they didn't try to make it like a turn-based one.
That really wouldn't work for an MMO.
I mean, I don't think it would either, but I've heard of such things trying to be done before with MMOs.
Oh yeah, it's been attempted, but it wouldn't work.
I don't think it would work either, and I don't know if I would like it, but I would surely try it. But just given that the franchise is what it is for Final Fantasy, it wouldn't have shocked me in the least bit if they did try something like that.
Right.
Mind you, they can't even make a game that successful without that factor.
And they've been trying to make the Final Fantasy 13 games appeal to more people that are focused on action RPG opposed to turn-based. They've been trying to streamline the combat and make it seem less turn-based and less time-consuming or slow.
See, I think, in general, that's what doesn't appeal. Like, I feel like that game, or not that, but
it's a strategy game.
Yeah,
that's what the Final Fantasy game is supposed to be. They're supposed to be a strategy game.
I feel like there's a time and a place for things like that, and I feel like Final Fantasy isn't the game that should be like that. It should be how the franchise has originally intended it, and that's what everyone who plays those games is expecting, not the broader few who want X from the general populace.
Right.
Which I think is what turned me off the most. I'm just like, this isn't why I play Final Fantasy, because of the whole strategic value of it. And then they just kind of remove that. Like, it's running around, you get an encounter, boom, okay. But I think there's a lot of games that just nowadays, they try to appeal to the general audience and not
the few that have been
attentive
towards it. Like, obviously Final Fantasy has had a huge fan base because it's an old game. It's been around for a few decades. I don't want to say a few decades, almost 2 decades maybe. But it's been around for a while. It has a well-established fan base.
Oh yeah.
They should make the games for that fan base.
I agree. And I think everything now in the game market is just about instant gratification, and I don't know why. I think that's just what everyone wants for some reason. But I think that's what I really liked about the Binary Domain game. It
wasn't instant.
Yeah, there's nothing instant gratification about it. Like, bosses will take you a while because you have to run the course of the map and actually collect things to destroy the boss. Whereas it's like, boss counter, alright, it's dead, move on. Like, I'm only in chapter 2 and I have probably 8 to 9 hours put towards it already. So I think that game is why I really am attracted to it. The story is solid too, definitely. I think games kind of push a story out.
I push a story that they think makes sense and it works and flows, but it really has a lot of plot holes where it doesn't really work.
Yeah. Who knows? That's why I like indie games nowadays. Like, those games are just fun games to play. They'll kill time and they'll give you some sort of enjoyment. And
a lot of, well, I don't want to say a lot, but a nice amount of indie developers actually listen to the people playing the game.
Oh, yeah. I think Happy Wars right now on Xbox, that's still one of my all-time favorites. Because it's fun. There's no real anything behind it. It's just you go into this multiplayer setting. There are quests, you can do for fun. But you go into this multiplayer setting, and it's just
have fun.
Yeah, have fun. You can get upgrades. You can get this class if you do X amount of things. But it's just do what you please type of thing. Like, it's fun overall. I get mad at a lot of games, but that's one of those games where if I just die repeatedly, I don't really care.
Right.
I'm just playing simply because the enjoyment and concept of the game. Even I think they should widen their like class variety, because Berserker, as at least as I remember, it was so overpowered that unless you were a mage, Berserker would roll you over.
Right.
Because they would just whirlwind you, and if they were built like I'm built, because I spent so much money on the game, my one like 2 seconds of whirlwind, you're dead. And then never see a cleric. Like, the only time you see a cleric is if I'm playing it and no one else heals me ever when I'm playing, but I'll get the points for healing other people.
Right.
But that's the only thing with that game.
Honestly, my favorite game of all time, and I don't care if I get all the hate for it, but it's gonna be World of Warcraft, or at least the Warcraft series.
Oh, I love the Warcraft series. Are you kidding me? I used to stay up all night when I was a kid just doing like the random custom matches online against like these people, and just I would have fun with it.
Not necessarily for the gameplay of the games, because an RTS is an RTS. Let me rephrase that. The common RTS is what most people expect. Obviously, there are a few exceptions, like Sins of the Solar Empire and whatnot.
Yeah.
They're going to play differently. But Warcraft, StarCraft, Age of Empires, Age of Mythology, they all played similarly. They all played top-down RTS. Make a huge army, go kill.
Yeah.
Obviously, some of the games are going to have different strategies. Warcraft and StarCraft were more strategy-based, opposed to just making this enormous army and going to kill the other player.
Yeah.
But the main reason I like the whole Warcraft series is because of the lore. I'm a huge lore nerd, and I will always love Warcraft's lore.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think outside of that, because I played that a lot when I was younger, Half-Life, that was a good game. Let me tell you. It had a scare factor that some games, I think, lack nowadays. There were some things that would jump out and you'd be like, oh, and it would get you.
The original Dead Space did an amazing job of that.
Yeah, I played that, and there were some parts I was like, oh man, oh man, oh man. Oh, another good example is Doom 3. They really, I think, just tried to make it like that. Because you would have to crawl through, like, these gutters, and it would be pitch black, and all you could hear is, like, the bouncing around the area, and then something falls through, or something jumps out. It's crazy.
Right.
Those games are really fun, though. Just because, why not? Get scared while you're playing a game. That's really good. As if you needed to buy another controller. They're definitely, there's another game coming out soon that I'm really excited about.
Titanfall.
Ah, there we go. Yes, Titanfall. While I don't know much about it, from what I have seen gameplay-wise, it looks incredibly fun.
And you're right. The beta that happened like a week ago, I think now, wasn't really a beta. It was more of just a demo. The game ran perfectly.
I heard it went open at the end.
The last day for both PC and Xbox were open.
Yeah, and I didn't feel like installing it, honestly.
Yeah, it was a one-day thing. Not really worth it.
It was a one-day thing, and knowing my luck, it would have taken me like that one day just to install it.
Right, it wasn't worth the trouble. But both PC and Xbox, I cranked the settings on PC. It ran perfectly. I had everything maxed out. Oh god, the game is just so much fun.
It was just really fun. I watched Philip DeFranco, like I said, play it, and he was just having a ball playing that. Because either he'd be in like some mechanic figure, or he would just be out running and just take somebody out in it. But you had to be pretty stealthy to do that. Like, you couldn't just run and gun that. That's what I think I like about it too. It's not a running gun, really.
Oh no, it is. It really is, especially with the whole parkour system where you actually run on walls. You need to run on walls. You always need to run on walls. Why? Because it makes you move faster. You get around the map so much faster.
Let me rephrase
than you would
that
if you
then.
just sprint across the ground.
I don't see it as a running gun because, in my opinion, running and gunning is just running in the middle of the map and just hoping for the best.
It's Call of Duty.
Yeah. Like, the best example of running and gunning is Call of Duty, easily. Because it's short, But to me, it looked like it could, I guess, yes, be a running gun, but it was more creative.
The game has so much potential. That, and it's a multiplayer only game, and they're integrating. It's not really. It's not story mode in any way. They're just integrating. Sorry, they're integrating. God damn it. They're integrating story into the multiplayer through their burn cards. Burn cards are essentially you get 3 of them per match. You can boost and just make a certain gun or a certain ability or speed something up for that one card. And once you use the card, it's gone. And on the card, they each have little bits of lore. Like, on Magic cards, they have that little sliver of information at the very bottom.
Yeah.
And it just tells you a little something about the universe.
That's cool. So it's like you slowly get to unlock it for yourself.
You slowly learn what the game is. You slowly learn what's going on in that world.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty neat. I'm definitely going to get it.
It comes out March 11th.
Yeah, I probably won't. I'll probably be in my Reaper of Souls phase in that time.
You'll probably be prepping for that.
Yeah, because, they're going to give actual, unique benefits to Paragon every, 50, I think it is.
Mm-hmm.
Which is really going to be interesting. And the fact that no auction house.
It's back to the way it should be.
Yeah, I think the auction house could have had potential until they decided let's add real life cash to this.
Mm-hmm.
And then they didn't implement it well enough, I think. They should have left it out of the game. It
destroyed the economy.
Oh, yeah. The simplest of items that would be benefit, they're like, yeah, you can get that. You can sure get that if you have 38 billion gold.
Right.
Which the only people who have that money are people who either sell these items or people who are investing real money for the gold or the real life cash to gold transactions.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the exploits is what really did the game in, and I think that's why they're removing it. You could charge and then buy something like a diamond, which we're always selling.
Right. And
then you could just resell them back for 10 times more that you paid for the gold, and you could just do that over and over.
It's not so much an exploit as it is a way to resell and regain, basically.
But that's the thing, it wasn't supposed to be doing that because that's not right. I think you could buy these emeralds at 74 million gold.
And then resell them for even just 1 million gold more.
I think it was a lot more than that, but yeah, that's just an example. But you could just go on the auction house because you can just sell things instantly in that phase because people are always going to be looking to buy those things.
Right.
And you were spending 76, 77, and you were getting hundreds plus back.
Mm-hmm.
It was ridiculous, and I think that's when I noticed everything jumped in prices.
Mm-hmm. Is the whole buying and reselling. It's basically ruining an economy of a game.
Yeah.
WoW has the same issue. People will go in, take one item on the auction house, buy every single one of them, put them back on the auction house for their own price, and they'll basically own that item on the auction house. They'll own that item's economy.
See, there's some crazy stuff going on.
Which, mind you, I can understand, hey, you want to make a lot of money by doing that. Cool. You're ruining the game for other people by doing that.
Oh yeah, the mounts in there are ridiculous. I noticed the mount prices recently have gone up a lot more.
Yeah, the new
crafted ones.
Yeah, the new crafted Sky Golem, which is engineering mount.
Yeah.
A few, it depends on the server, but a few 100,000 gold for it.
Oh, see, it hasn't been that bad on the server that I've been playing on. I can't remember the name even though, but it's only been maybe 65 to 70, which is still to me is ridiculous.
You just need to be better with your money, which is essentially what it comes down to in any game that has an auction house.
Yeah, I just feel
really good at managing your money.
I feel like you can invest your own money and end up getting engineering to that point faster than you spending money.
Oh yeah.
On the actual thing, and I think that's what it comes down to is people will overprice just because they can because no one else wants to go get their engineering to 600.
Right.
Man,
but WoW will always have a special place in my heart.
I definitely enjoy it. I'm not gonna disagree. To me, it's EverQuest. To you, it's WoW.
Right.
And
I started in WoW when it was in alpha.
Yeah, see, and I started 2 years after EverQuest released. 2001, really young, and that's what I'm playing. It's just how you start, basically. If I had it my way,
you started on one spectrum, I started on the other.
Yeah. I think that was like you started tier 2, I started in tier 1.
Essentially, nah. You gotta think Ultima way back.
Oh yeah, I always forget about Ultima.
I never played Ultima, but that was the first true MMO.
Yeah, you don't really think about it because how many times do you ever hear that? Like, in today's world, when do you ever even hear about that?
You don't, because Ultima's gone, basically.
Yeah.
Mind you, there's still a few people that play it, and they thoroughly enjoy playing it still, just...
It's just not something you hear every day, and you rarely even hear it in that community itself. Like, most people won't even know what the hell we're talking about.
Most people don't even know what Ultima is anymore, because it's a dead game, in a sense.
It's a dead game, and most people that play games now don't even... Some might, mind you. They might have done their research, or they might have known what it was, but a lot just don't even know that game ever even existed, and I even forget about it. And I never played it, but I knew about it.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I learned about Ultima and all of its expansions through watching podcasts.
Well, hey, there you go. We might have enlightened some people to Ultima today.
It's entirely possible.
Mind you, I doubt they're going to go run out and play it.
Yeah, I don't think many people are going to go look. And they'll look into it and see how old of a game it is and what it plays like. And like, nah.
Yeah.
They'll feel awful playing it. Especially when you compare it to games like Rift, Terra, Final Fantasy XIV, Star Wars Online, which, mind you, Star Wars is kind of shite.
Well, that's the thing, though. Like, in this generation of games, like, unless you played some of those games when they were current, you can't persuade other people to jump in that game because there's going to be something better out that they're going to appeal more to. And that's why these bigger games, they shrink in communities, you know. EverQuest never did a single day of, like, advertising for commercials, sites, or anything, and it shows. Like,
yeah.
The core people who play it are the people who knew about it when it was relevant. And now you can even... I think even in today's standards, you could say that name, and some people would have no idea what the hell you're talking about.
Yeah, some people just not know what EverQuest is.
Like, that would be... What? I know EverQuest 2, because that's still somehow relevant, and that game was horrible.
Yeah, that game came out I want to say recently, but like 03 didn't it come out?
I think, actually, we're completely ignoring something that's coming out for EverQuest. Landmark.
EverQuest Next. And Landmark.
Yeah, Landmark's out right now. But
for some people.
Yeah, for the select few who already have that, which actually a lot of people that I know do, and I personally just haven't downloaded it, but I could easily unpack it. But,
you should do that.
I should, because I think that'd be fun to play. But I heard right now is not the time to play it. Their servers can't take the people that are coming on, and it's so limited that whatever you want to do can be done in the first day if you can get on, and then there's nothing to do right now.
Yeah, Landmark is solely a building.
It's a building, but they have so many restrictive options that the buildings that's supposed to come with it aren't really out right now.
It's a voxel-based game. It's Minecraft for making...
It's Minecraft with HD textures and a bunch of neat concepts, really. Like how they talked about building good faction with people around in the mines and stuff. And these, like, month-long sieges that would happen on their plays. And actually, that was insight that I heard, you know, because they only briefly touched that.
Right.
But, like, if an orc is, like, destroying your area, that, like, the specific area you're in, you can make treaties somehow. There's not a lot of information on it yet, but you can treaty your way out of that whole thing, which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah, there's always been a way to theoretically make a treaty with the person that's invading.
Yeah. They didn't touch on that when they released it. Whoops. Oh, wow. I don't know. I'm really excited for it. I think people will know the people will really never know in this time and age what EverQuest 1 was, but the little EverQuest games will still be coming out.
Yeah, next looks like it's gonna be... It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to say the least. I can't say it's gonna be popular, but it'll be interesting.
Well, because
it's gonna be a lot different than EverQuest.
Most of the people, diehard EverQuest players, aren't really into it because there's nothing EverQuest about it anymore.
They're changing how the game is played.
Yeah, like, to me, it's not EverQuest anymore, just with the EverQuest name, except they do keep the lore kind of in touch. It's just playing it from a different perspective, maybe? I don't know how to explain it, but I'm going to play it, obviously, for a little bit.
The gameplay is going to be so different because it's going to be voxel-based, meaning you can destroy everything.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool, like, how they showed how many layers each place had.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was pretty cool.
The game is absolutely brimming with things to do.
Oh yeah, you'll never, like, you might be able to, but with it being ever changing and there's so much to explore, I don't ever imagine one person actually exploring every little bit of the game because of how in depth it is and how it changes over time.
Yeah, what's the reset on it for the world to go back to a somewhat normal? I can't remember if it was a week or a month.
I think for reset, like, it's a week. I think, like, the game itself changes whenever it's reset, like, it's rebuilt.
Gotcha.
So, like, say you burrowed into, like, the ground and you ended up in, like, a mine.
Mm-hmm.
When it resets, back, it's not gonna be the same mine, but it will up until the time where it changes. But they also mentioned how, there are, like, 8 layers to a mine.
Mm-hmm. There are, like, 10 some odd layers to just the world itself.
Yeah, like, the mountains even have their sub-layers. You can go down, just digging a hole in the ground and instantly come upon a cavern, to which you find out that cavern leads to an underground world.
Right.
It's going to be interesting. I'll definitely have to play it. We'll definitely both have to be playing it.
Oh, yeah.
That'll make a good
I've
LAN
never
party.
played EverQuest, but I'll be messing with EverQuest next.
Yeah, that's the thing. People who don't play EverQuest will be playing it just because of what it is. But I have to say, Sony, like, in terms of making games outside of EverQuest, they've never really met up to their expectations in terms of their first, like, push-out game that did so well.
Kingdom Hearts, for example.
Yeah. Kingdom Hearts was really good.
Amazing games. But when you compare them to newer games made, I don't want to say solely by Sony, but by Sony, they are kind of,
I don't know. I'm really excited to see Kingdom Hearts 3. I don't know when that's supposed to be coming out. And it's no longer console. It's no longer an exclusive.
It's next year or the year after. I don't know for sure.
Well, it gives me time to get a console, I guess, huh?
Yeah, there's no rush.
Well, I mean, I'm obviously going to have one before then for Titanfall.
Just get Titanfall on your PC. You'll enjoy it more. Plus, you can just play it with a 360 controller on the PC.
I could.
That's what I'll be doing.
I don't know how it's going to... And my computer's not a chump or anything, but I've always found anything new age does not like outside of a few things.
I mean, it's an Origin game, so it's going to be easy to install. It's EA Steam. It installs through Origin.
Well, that's not too bad.
So it'll be a very linear install, like here. You install it, it's going to install here. These are the drivers that are coming with it, yada yada. It'll install it all for you. It's just plain simple.
Yeah, then you just have to, having such a small processor on a laptop, you just have to see how overall it's going to act. I mean, I might just get it if I have the money, and then if it doesn't run, I'll just get a console and get it for that.
Mm-hmm.
But I think
no, I'm not going to be getting it for the Xbox One, even though I have it.
I mean, if it works on your computer, I don't see why I'd get it for the Xbox One.
Right.
There are only a few games I will get for every console, and that's just because once you've maxed out rank, like Call of Duty or Battlefield games, sometimes it's fun just to do it again, if you're bored. And I've done that countless times. Except the PS3, I'm just not a huge fan of PlayStation controllers. So
Neither am I.
I don't go through and play those. But I have done it for Xbox and PC with every recent Call of Duty and every Battlefield.
Right.
Well, Battlefield that was both console and PC.
Halo is going to be my always go-to for my FPS.
Yeah, I liked 1 and 2. Maybe 3.
Two is easily the best. 4, they kind of 343 is still getting hold of it, in my opinion.
I never played 4. I stopped after 3 because then they just started pushing these like random games.
Spartan Assault doesn't really count. That's a spin-off of 4 in a sense that it's new Spartans using a simulated program to train.
Okay.
That's the story behind Spartan Assault.
Didn't even know what it was about.
It's literally new Spartans using a tablet to play a game. I shit thee not.
Wow. I feel like all franchises, like big time franchises, are just not heading down the right path for some games, or they just try to overcreate for their like big title game.
Like, I hope 343 does not fuck up Halo 5. If they do, I will be so upset with them.
I can imagine. Like, I understand the people who like that game, and I don't like when my games get shitted on. Can only imagine the way people feel about their games. Like D3 in the beginning, like I liked it, but they really shit on a lot of people with that game.
Oh yeah. With how much they changed, Activision had too big of a role in deciding how the game was going to play.
Yeah, I mean, I expect it to change, but I felt like it should have felt. I'm not saying it should just be D2 all over again because that was really great, and I feel like games are going to change obviously, but they did way too much, too fast, and there was a lot of poor implementation.
They didn't ease you into it.
Nope. They just threw you into this thing like this is what you're going to do and you're going to like it pretty much.
Like, here, this is what it is. Don't like it? Yeah, that sucks for you.
Yeah, it sucks for you. You already paid the money. Good luck.
Essentially.
Like, they don't have to care about you anymore after you've paid the $60.
Yep. And that's Activision.
Yeah.
Because, Activision and Blizzard had their merger not too long ago.
Yeah, that wasn't too long ago, was it? I always forget about that.
A few years ago.
It doesn't...
Because they're technically Activision Blizzard, but the only place where it actually says Activision Blizzard when you see a game is on Blizzard games, opposed to, Call of Duty. It doesn't say Activision Blizzard on Call of Duty games.
Well, yeah, that's because I doubt Blizzard had a role in...
But they're still the same company. That's what bothers me about it.
Yeah, I understand that they're supposed to be like the same company, but I don't know how to explain that one. Definitely... Because if they're even supposed to be the same company, like, they're still going to have different branches within their company.
Right. And Activision just had too much influence on Blizzard's games.
Yeah. They have their hands in they've always had their hands in many people's pockets.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that needs to change with games too. Like, I like some companies that like merge to make a game, but there are some people that do not need to merge. Like, you were doing fine before you added these people to your company.
Blizzard was doing perfect. They were their own company. They were self-published, self-developed for every game.
Oh yeah, I agree. I think that about wraps this podcast up, though, don't you say?
We could go longer if you want. You could just have a really long podcast. I don't mind going long.
I don't mind going long, but I at least want to change the game up because I feel like I'm just doing these replays and replays. And that was one thing.
Just change game then.
Yeah.
We'll stop talking for a little bit, and you can just cut it when you get the new game in.
No, the new game's already rolling, dog.
Oh, well, hell, never mind then.
Yeah.
Swag.
That's how spooky I am.
Yeah, but no,
I'm actually now about to play Ace of Spades.
Yeah, I'm still playing Final Fantasy. Fucking MMO.
That's because you can do that with an MMO, where I was playing Assault Android Cactus so much, I was just going through all these levels and just doing them.
Yeah.
Which I don't mind, but I just feel like people are tired of seeing the same place be played 10 plus times over
That's
and
fair.
over.
Yeah, that's fair. But Elder Scrolls Online, that's gonna be an interesting game. And you'll find out this weekend once you play, because I sent you the beta key.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited for that, because I'd always been interested, but I heard the first time they even made a comment about it, and it was a pay thing, and everyone just started hating on it.
But yeah, I can see why, and they're working around that for the consoles because they're bringing the consoles, yada yada.
Yeah.
They've worked with both Sony and Microsoft to make it so that people that want to play Elder Scrolls Online on the console don't also have to pay the PlayStation Plus or Xbox Live fee.
Well, that's good.
So it's nice that they actually wanted to work around that so they don't have two fees just to play one game.
Yeah. I feel like
I can understand the fee for the game. The game is amazing. It's literally Skyrim with friends.
See, I haven't seen a whole lot about it yet. I just knew in the beginning when they mentioned, oh, by the way, there's going to be a subscription fee, everyone, like, freaked out of their minds.
You can also you can also cap it, by the way, since it's no longer under NDA. Then you actually just post Elder Scrolls Online videos.
Oh, yeah?
So this weekend, you and I will probably just play a little bit.
Yeah, we can stream it. We can actually do a fun podcast while we play it.
Yeah, if I think Joey has a key, so you might be able to join us.
Yeah, that's fine. These are definitely fun. You get to... I'm sure by then, too, we're going to have a lot to talk about that game in general, and I'm sure...
Oh, yeah. I have plenty to share, but I'm just going to wait until we start playing it together.
Yeah, it goes live pretty much.
But, we've been going for about an hour and 20 minutes. Well, that's how long the Skype call is, at least. It's been an hour and 20 minutes.
That's not too bad.
So maybe an hour and 15, hour 10. But no. Titanfall. Both on PC and the Xbox One. I can't say for the 360 because that didn't have the beta. The 360 version of the game is coming out. I think it's a 2-week delay from March 11th, so it'll come out on the 25th of March, maybe. But on both Xbox One and PC, I had absolutely no issues. The game is incredibly fun on both.
Well, that's good.
I had absolutely no lag in any way on either.
Well, I don't usually, unless your internet's bad, I don't usually expect lag on a console.
But the fact that it was a quote-unquote demo/beta, that's why I'm praising it in that sense.
You know what I really want? Destiny.
Oh God, Destiny, Bungie. You pulled us in with Halo, and now you're leading us on to something that's going to be even more amazing.
Like, to me, I think that... I'm not even a huge, like, Bungie person, per se, but that, to me, looked incredible.
Destiny just looks absolutely amazing.
Like, I'll own it, for sure.
Yeah,
Even if everyone says this is the worst game to ever come out, I'm still playing it.
I'm going to own all 4 of the Destinies, because there's 4 coming out. It's going to be alternating with a single DLC each year, because it's going to go Destiny 1 coming out this year, or I believe it's this year, might be next year, but I'm almost positive it's this year that's coming out, and then the year following the release of a retail game.
2014, right?
I believe so. I could be wrong, they might have pushed it back, but following the release of the retail game in the following year, they're going to have one big DLC, which will act as an expansion pack. And then the year following the DLC, a new game, and then so on 4 times over.
It's actually a pretty smart way to market. And, like, expand on the game without just throwing a bunch of game titles out.
Instead of doing the whole thing like Call of Duty does, instead of having 4 or 5 map packs for each release, they're going to have a single DLC, which will expand the game quite a bit. It'll act as an expansion, like for World of Warcraft. They're going to have their 5th expansion this year.
Yeah, I am actually I'm not excited per se, but I'm interested in it to say the least. Mainly because I do have a Death Knight I worked on and got her in the, like, 520.
No, don't worry, that won't matter in any way. Your item level is going to be worthless. At the start of an expansion, the item level is damn near worthless.
I agree if you're in, like, group gear. But if you're rocking some, like, pretty solid, like, heroic raid gear.
Mist of Pandaria, the blues from the first 2 zones, Because you know it was split between two zones. You had the Horde starting zone. No,
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. I'm pretty sure.
no, I believe you just had the one starting zone, the forest, the Jade Forest area. I think you just had that one starting zone for Mist for both Horde and Alliance. But the blues from that zone outdid Dragon Soul Epics. Dragon Soul 25 man.
I don't see blues coming out of the first zone in the new X-Pack to come out being like I-560s.
Nope, they will. They're also doing an item crunch, so item level basically divided by 10, I think. Actually, I don't know if item level is being cut. I know they're doing a huge item crunch for Warlords of Draenor.
Not surprised.
Because the numbers, if they were to continue, would be absolutely ludicrous.
Yeah, but I like big numbers.
I do too, but they'd be getting to the point where you'd have 30,000 armor on a single piece of gear.
Well, that would be ridiculous.
I mean, yeah, that's kind of getting ridiculous. 30,000 armor on a single piece of gear is a little crazy.
Just make everything have a lot of strike through.
Well, they took that out because armor penetration that used to be in the game, they took it out.
Oh, well then yeah, I could see that'd be a definite problem then if you're.
Yeah,
if
so
there's no
there's
such thing as armor penetration and you're walking around with like, let's see, 8 pieces of gear with 300,000 armor. You're gonna have a lot of armor.
yeah. So item crunch, it's going back to about Burning Crusade numbers.
That's gonna be interesting.
And I say about Burning Crusade because it's a little higher than Burning Crusade, but it's a lot less than Wrath of the Lich King. Because Wrath of the Lich King is where they kind of started to go down a spiral of increasing the numbers quite a bit. Because you could get up to 15k DPS.
Yeah.
Where in Burning Crusade, I think you could hit 5k. I can't remember exactly. It's been a long time.
Yeah, I don't remember those numbers at all.
I remember from Wrath and On.
See, I played a little bit during Vanilla, and then I came in for Wrath a little bit, and then I was, and then I left, and then I came back for Mist. Like, oh my, how many times did it take to shoot this person?
A lot, apparently.
Finally. I shot a bunch of shots in him, and usually I'm used to only 2 at max. And this time, I kept shooting this dude. I kept falling off the edges, kept shooting him. Nothing was happening.
What should I play? Because Final Fantasy XIV is doing realm maintenance right now.
Actually,
Bless you.
what do you have to play?
Not World of Warcraft, Guild Wars 2, Rift, Smite, Hearthstone, StarCraft 2, Diablo 3, Star Wars. Let me open Steam. A lot of games. Because I have 119 games in Steam. Actually, I need to go get the rest from Humble Bundle.
Any good humble bundles running right now?
Oh, I know what I can play. I'm going to play Dust.
Oh, it's Dust.
A 2D side scroller. It got a lot of good reviews.
Have not heard anything about that myself.
I just know a lot of games got added to the new Humble Bundle, which
I have
is
some
actually
games from a humble bundle I bought that I haven't even played yet.
actually the new Humble Bundle is an indie bundle. If you want to go grab it, I think it's $5. You get all 9 games.
What games? Like
hold on.
just some titles that might grab my attention, maybe.
I'll name the games off in a second. You got Gianna Sisters, Twisted Dreams, The Swapper, Dust and Elysian Tale, Guacamelee, Gold Edition, Antichamber, Monaco, What's Yours Is Mine, Fez, Beat Buddy, Tale of the Guardians, and Starseed Pilgrim.
I haven't heard of any of those.
They're all indie games. That's why I point them out to you, because I know you're going on your little indie thing.
Well, I just, I played so many games that are just rinse and repeat things that indie games have at least changed it up, and it's been enjoyable for the most part.
Right.
Definitely when you spend as much time as I do playing games for the most nowadays, you're always going to want the... Man, I am just mowing them down now. Oh,
but no. I'm gonna... God damn, I keep clicking the wrong button.
Good job. I'll probably pick that up after we're done with this.
It's
And then-
$463 to get all the games from it right now.
Anything that catches your eyes out of that bundle that would look interesting to play?
Dust and Elysian Tale. That's the biggest one Dust, Monaco, and Fez are the three big ones.
I still have Natural Selection 2, I think I've never downloaded.
I have it downloaded. It's an FPS. I haven't touched it, but yeah, it's there.
I haven't either. I had no idea what it was about.
Loadout would be a really fun game for us to play.
Oh, I saw something about that. Isn't it free?
It's free to play entirely.
Yeah.
It's incredibly fun.
Is it? I'll have to install it and then...
It's Team Fortress 2 on crack, essentially.
Oh, man. Does Joey have it?
I believe so.
We're gonna have to do a weekend party where we just pump out a loadout and Elder Scrolls stuff.
It'd be fun.
Yeah, it would. I don't have work this weekend.
I do.
Well, that's because you always work.
Yeah, I know.
I am just on a... Oh. You know, the one thing they could do about this game is add something other than a rifle. And a rifle that doesn't have a kickback where, I hit myself in the head when I shoot.
Might be a good thing.
But, you know.
Sorry if my keyboard makes sound, because I'm logging onto Rift, so it's going to make a little bit of sound right now.
It's fine. I'm sure my space bars and continuous mouse clicking are more
I
annoying
hear
than a few
your
keyboard
space
clicks.
bar just sounds like a really deep thud, opposed to an actual click. You know, mechanical keyboards.
Isn't that why you buy mechanical keyboards, though? Is for the click?
Oh yeah, entirely.
God damn. They are just getting me today. Oh, we have, no one on our team.
Oh yeah, Rift at max level at 60.
Mm-hmm.
You can compare the damage to mid expansion. No, I'm sorry, not basically mid end game for Wrath of the Lich King, because I max out at about 10k DPS right now on Rift.
That's not bad.
Compared to about that gameplay, and the health is actually rather similar.
I mean,
So
I've always wanted to go back, but I don't have it installed. That's with a lot of things, because I had to do that wipe a little bit ago.
Yeah.
There are still a few things I just haven't ever installed again. And right now we're being camped by blue team, so that's always good.
Oh, naturally, always wonderful.
I mean, nothing says great game like being camped.
By no means, yeah. I'm actually more curious if Rift is working on another expansion. I don't know.
Oh, damn. This is so much fun. No, I'm definitely... The game can be the best of the best, or you want to rip your face off and scream Bloody Mary 3 times while kicking Michael Jackson in the throat.
That's not nice to kick a dead person in the throat. I mean, come on.
I mean, some things just have to be done. Definitely when you can't move 3 inches without getting shot from somewhere, and you're playing with a team that just quits.
Fair enough, but no. Rift is actually working on a new X-Pack, and it's going to be entirely free.
Oh, yeah?
As opposed to Storm Legion, where you had to buy it in order to get the new Storm Legion souls, like, the lightning-based warrior.
Yeah.
It's going to be entirely... Yeah, no, the next expansion, 3.0, is going to be entirely free, meaning all the souls will be free to play.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's a nice, it's nice.
I mean, hey, at least they're trying to make everything enjoyable. And we are going to lose right here if we don't pick it up. Mind you, we still have 8 minutes of just getting wrecked at this rate. It's, what, 8 versus 3? Do you have this game, Chris?
What game is it?
Ace of Spades.
No, I don't have it.
I don't know if it's on sale anymore, but it was like $3. Something like that.
If it is, I don't know. I just know I'm saving money right now.
Oh, yeah?
Have you heard of the GTX Titan?
No.
Hold on, let me find it real quick.
What is it?
It's a graphics card.
Oh. Should have figured that, but I haven't heard of any new graphics cards.
I don't know. It's been out for a little bit.
I don't even know what like the top of the line graphics cards are anymore.
The Titan.
Is it?
Yep.
Oh man, how many times can I die?
There you go. Just sent you a link to an Amazon for it.
Alright. I'll check it out.
It's absolutely an amazing graphics card. It'll wipe any graphics card away, just without even trying. It's got 6 gigabytes of GDDR RAM.
That already starts off ridiculous.
384-bit dual link DVI, DVI-D, HDMI, DP, SLI. It's super clocked, by the way. This one is, at least. So it's meant to push everything to the limit, basically.
Well, that's always good.
Base clock speed is 967 megahertz rather. I'm sorry. Boost clock is basically 1 gigahertz.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. That's incredible. Like, pricey though. Like,
yeah, $1,000 for a fucking graphics card, but
could build
it's
a machine
amazing.
that could almost run like it for a little bit over that.
But no, that graphics card is not going to be outdated for a while.
See, I like to think that, and then someone's out there always to prove somebody wrong about that whole it's not going to be outdated thing until they make it outdated.
The only game company that would do that would be Crytek with Crysis 4. Because they push graphics to the max in all their games.
Pretty sure they do that just because they can.
That's literally because they can. There's no other reason that they do it.
Like, those games could look good without needing all the power that it does need.
Oh yeah. Titanfall, even on the graphics card I have, which is Radeon 8500 series.
Yeah.
It maxed out. I had no issues with graphics. Like, I was getting at least 60 frames per second at all times.
That's not bad.
And there's no point to go above 60 frames per second, ever.
I mean, I don't know who would.
There's honestly, in theory, no need to go above 25-ish frames per second, because that's, human perception of quote-unquote frames per second.
Yeah. I just know 60 is usually like the base number that you just kind of stick with. There's no reason for it to change.
Yeah, it's just, if there's anything more than 60, it's overkill for no reason, in my opinion, at least.
I definitely agree. Like, what kind of map is this? There are 3 crosses. Oh wait, these might be flowers, not crosses.
But I need another drink, so hold on, give me a second here.
All right.
My throat's getting a little parched.
It happens. That's why I had drinks on standby.
Yeah, I only opened one of my nostrils.
It can get taxing to do this for sure.
Oh yeah, it's a podcast. You're gonna be talking for quite a while.
Yeah. Definitely if they're ones like the length of this. But at least these ones we do get breaks, where the one like my first one that I put out with Reed, there weren't like downtimes really.
Yeah. But Titanfall comes out in a little less than 2 weeks. I honestly cannot wait for that game to come out. I'll be playing the hell out of it.
Reaper Souls drops in
about a month.
Probably, yeah, March 22nd is what I would project, considering that's when the auction house goes kaboom.
Yeah, about a month is when it should be coming out, I believe.
It's either going to drop then, or it's going to drop a few days after the auction house crashes.
Yeah.
I can't wait for Assault Android Cactus to have some more work done on it. Because new bosses mean new androids to play with.
Of course.
And that's always exciting.
I don't even want to play Rift right now. I just want to play Final Fantasy, but I can't.
I'm playing on a map that's so huge, and like there's no one really playing. There's 3 versus 3 on a map that's ginormous.
That's awful. Speaking of Hearthstone Titanfall, all the maps in that game,
Yeah.
none of them feel too big. They all feel the right size for what it is.
That's good.
And mind you, there's only 2 maps in the beta, so I can't say anything about all the maps because I think they have a total of 15, 16, maybe 17 maps.
Quite a
Which is
few
quite
maps.
a big, which is quite a big map list for
Yeah.
an FPS.
I was about to say that's quite a few maps. You maybe get that many after all the DLC is released for a game.
Right. No, I mean you get 16 maps alone from just DLCs with how Call of Duty does it. Because you get 4 maps of each DLC, as well as a special map that goes for either zombies or whatever special mode the developer put in that game.
Yeah. I wish I had more people to play against, but there's no one here but me. There's also apparently no way to... Oh, wait, I forgot I have team cubes to... Come on.
What else? What else do we want to talk about?
I don't know. We've touched a lot of games today, let me tell you. And definitely, I'm sure they've gotten enough of their footage of gameplay today.
Oh, by all means.
Except this game's probably not as exciting considering nothing is going on.
You know, that it comes down to that with certain games. Some games will obviously be a lot more exciting than others.
Yeah. The other game, I'm sure it could be exciting content. It's just I was having to redo so many things just because
Right.
I'd had done everything else.
Yeah, Thief is a huge game. It's 24 gigabytes. I didn't even really notice that.
Oh. Oh.
I did not notice how big it was until I just checked. That's kind of crazy.
That is... I'm not gonna say that's ginormous, but that's a pretty big file there.
Killzone Shadowfall was a lot bigger. Killzone was about twice that. Killzone was 50 gigs.
Well, I expect that from Killzone, to be honest with you.
They boasted that they could have had the game be 250 gigs. They had that much work done. They just couldn't obviously publish it all onto a single disc.
Oh man, imagine how many, like...
But I mean, they could have just done digital download for it entirely.
Oh yeah. But imagine how many, like, you'd just be going through the motions with a disc over and over.
Mm-hmm. Off the top of my head, I have no clue how much
Oh.
how much space is on a Blu-ray disc.
You know, I don't know either. I'm still not hip with Blu-ray.
I mean, it doesn't really bother me. I am a PC user. I can get Blu-ray quality without having to have a disc. So I can just download something digitally.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely the same way. Blu-ray players have never been like my ooh and ah to getting something.
Exactly, and even now, the Xbox One works for Blu-ray now.
Yeah, I know.
So I don't even need a Blu-ray player. Because my dad actually got me a Blu-ray player for Christmas. Because he didn't know whether the Xbox One played Blu-ray or not.
I guess that's a free Blu-ray player for them. Unless you threw it
No,
in
they
your
just
room.
returned it and got money back.
Oh, I was gonna say you probably could have thrown it in your room too.
No, I'm never. I don't even watch it. I don't even watch the TV in my room.
Is it just there for show?
Yeah, it's not even plugged in. Because we plugged in a phone charger down there. So
okay.
kind of got replaced, and we never really plugged it back in.
I guess that kind of makes sense, except you know you have a TV in there, just hanging off your wall. I guess that's kind of just for the sake of having it put somewhere.
Right.
There was another game actually I was just reading about, and it's coming out soon, and I really want it, but I don't know how I feel about it.
Mm.
I'm tired of getting shot. What was it? Nah, I can't remember. That's gonna bother me. What are new games coming out soon?
Destiny looks amazing still.
Yeah.
Like, I just
Destiny.
can't get over how big Destiny's gonna be.
It's always gonna look amazing.
It's literally a mix between Halo, Borderlands, and Defiance. You know Defiance, the game I played for about 40 hours nonstop.
Yeah.
weird third-person shooter MMO kind of thing.
I actually just got a Borderlands 2 Game of the Year for the Xbox.
Oh god, Borderlands 2 is so hilarious and so fun. All the DLC is hilarious.
Is it?
Mm-hmm. Because I got on the computer when it was on that $15 sale.
Yeah, I wish I had done that.
I think it was like December 23rd, a few days before Christmas. That was just, hey, here's the game for 75% off. You have 2 days to buy it.
Yeah. I always remember like, no, I'm not going to buy that. And then I put 2 and 2 together after the fact when it said Game of the Year edition.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh wait, I should probably buy that. And then it's already gone.
Mm-hmm.
But it happens. I still haven't played that game all the way through, and I want to.
Yeah, I kind of got caught up with Rift because I was in the middle of playing it. Then I popped into Rift after I updated it finally, and now it's just sitting in my library of games that I need to continue playing. I still need to go back and play Assassin's Creed Liberation because that came out on the PC last month.
Yeah, I remember.
I'm just
was that
waiting.
actually part of the game, or was that just like a video?
Liberation it's a PSP or PS Vita game. I can't remember.
Oh, okay.
It just got ported to consoles and PC.
I thought that was part of the DLC for Assassin's Creed.
No, I actually have the season pass for AC4. I'm just waiting for all the DLC to come out before I even touch the game again.
That makes sense. I'm with that with a lot of things.
Yeah, I don't really have any interest in the multiplayer for Assassin's Creed. No, it never really interested me. Mind you, it's fun. I just doesn't hold my interest.
I remember you telling me what it was about, but I never had still, even when I owned the game, played it. Just because it didn't seem like one of those things where it has a great concept, and I'm sure it'd be fun to somebody, but to me, that doesn't really appeal. Like, I feel like it could be fun for like the first couple days, maybe.
And then it's just like, oh, okay.
Yeah. I am racking up the points now. I just got the intel.
So completely off topic from gaming. The new Naruto chapter came out, so I'm kind of focused on that. So if I'm quiet, yeah, I'm reading.
You know, I've always wanted to like read those, but I never did.
Yeah, the chapter that just came out is 666.
Oh man, Naruto's starting to worship the devil.
Yep, devil worshipper. And the next page isn't fucking loading.
Oh, I was doing so good. Well, this guy is teabagging me. How respectable.
Well,
Minecraft teabagging.
Why is it not loading? There we go. Took a little bit, but loaded.
I still want the game to come out for the Xbox. The next one after Ultimate Storm 3. Or Ultimate Ninja, whatever it was.
You're looking at Ultimate Ninja Storm 4.
Yeah. With the, whatchamacallit?
Sage.
Yeah, it's gonna introduce Sage the Six Paths or whatever.
Which, do you care if I spoil it for you?
No, I don't care.
Madara also has a Sage of the Six Paths form.
Does he?
Yeah, he's got full white hair.
I'm not surprised, honestly.
He kind of looks badass, and he's also incredibly threatening.
I mean, he already kind of has the badass essence to him, being who he is.
Correct.
Like, you don't just walk up to him or try to engage him without knowing who he is in any way. Because he does some work. Then again, the Uchihas have always been kind of strong bloodlined.
Mm-hmm.
They all have their own uniqueness, but they're all pretty powerful.
Yeah, and I feel Kishimoto's always done a great job of storytelling throughout Naruto.
Oh yeah, for sure. I still really want to get to reading them. For now, like, I want to watch them on Hulu, but one, you have commercials. Two.
Yeah, that's where Hulu's god awful. You're paying for it,
Two.
but hey, have commercials.
Whenever I don't ever have time to actually like sit down and watch something because I'm always trying to play games.
Mm.
And in order to watch that, you have to kind of read the subtitles. So then that becomes a whole nother issue. Like, I can't watch it because I don't have time out of my day to watch it. Which I think sucks. And I feel like if I wanted to, maybe I could make time, but then...
You wouldn't be playing games.
I
You
wouldn't
wouldn't be doing what you need to be doing, in a
Yeah.
sense.
In its own sense, yeah. The whole point of what I'm doing, or what we're doing right now, is to just talk about games
Mm-hmm.
and play those games while doing such. And if I'm not doing that, it's like I'm not doing my job, basically. Which, yeah, this is definitely... I always want to be up to date on any random game, just because maybe I'll open somebody up to a new game they want to play,
Right.
which means taking advantage of a lot of Steam sales. Let me tell you.
Oh, yeah.
Never heard of this game before. I'm gonna get it.
Like, I have so many games just sitting in games I need to play on Steam. Like, in Humble Bundle games alone, I have like 30 games. Games, and there's excess games and whatnot. I just have a lot of games that I can play.
I don't like. I lost a lot of my old games from my old Steam account, but I'm rebuilding it,
Right.
and I feel like some of the games I have, they're good, but there's not a lot to say about them because it's kind of either explains itself or people have already played it.
That's already been a well-established game.
And like the Greenlight game that I'm playing, the Reaper Tales of the or Pale Swordsman, there's not a whole lot I can say about it yet because I haven't done a lot with it. But I
Right.
just feel like even if I had, there's not a whole lot you can speak on it.
It's a greenlit game and doesn't have a lot to it yet.
Well, it's a Greenlit game that went through, meaning it's pretty published now. But it was under the Greenlit like titles, but they were like published ones, and I think for the most part it's pretty built. But I still think there are tweaks here and there. It's overall really fun. You get to play it with your Xbox controller, or get X-Patter, and then you can play it that way with anything else. But it's just like, I don't know how to explain it, but you get to travel to like these quest lines. Like, you don't get to run your person there or anything. You just hit travel and it takes you there, and then you might encounter something on the way there. Or one of your quests might be to engage this thing, and then you just clear it like Grand Chase almost.
Right.
It has that kind of idea where you don't just travel the entire game. You just engage as like this thing, start fresh with health and everything, and you just have to defeat these like different waves. And some of them I have gathered are pretty challenging. Just because they're just throwing a ton of things at you, like if you were playing Cactus. They're just trying to see how many things they can throw at you and how many times you can avoid it or kill them before they kill you.
Oh, so many feels in Naruto right now.
Naruto always has this like select amount of fuels you can get for that.
It's not even select. There's so many. Because Naruto, his parents died when he was born.
I mean,
Him being reunited with his dad is just so feely.
Chris, at first I thought when you were saying that you were trying to tell me like I didn't already know this, and I'm like,
I'm talking like in the manga right now, how he's reunited with his dad because his dad was brought back through the Edo Tensei.
oh, see, I didn't know that, but I'm like, I know both his parents are dead, Chris. It only took it. All you have to do to know that is just
Watch the first episode.
Yeah, watch the first episode when you get home from middle school and turn it on Cartoon Network. You'll probably see the same episode 25 times.
Yep.
That or the Orochimaru battles. Those were overplayed on Cartoon Network after like school hours.
Right.
Like, wow, I actually just saw this part yesterday. Why can't I see the second part to this?
Basically.
You'd see like that one part of a fight 3-4 times before you'd actually see the next part. And by then, well, back then I didn't really, but now you can just look up everything you want on the computer.
Oh yeah, you can find every single thing. But no, in my Steam catalog right now, I have so many games I need to play. I have Awesome Knots, I have Bit Trip, I have Chivalry, I have Cities XL, I have Dark Souls, I have Deus Ex, I have Dust, I have Elsword, I have all the Fear games, I have Fallout 3 and
You have
Fallout.
Elsword?
Elsword.
Oh, never mind.
I have Fallout New Vegas, I have FTL, I have Gotham City Imposters, I have Grand Theft Auto 4, I have Just Cause 1 and 2, I have Loda, I have Natural Selection 2, I have Neverwinter, I have Orcs Must Die 2, Path of Exile, Rage, all the Red Faction games, Saint Row 4.
I really do want Saint Row 4, actually. On that topic, I was going to bring that up in the beginning because I saw that, but it still wasn't cheap. I watched you play that, I'm like, wow, this game actually looks really interesting.
It's ridiculously silly, but incredibly fun. In a sense, it also brings me back to Titanfall. The game is incredibly fun, but it feels so rewarding, even though it's technically not, in a sense.
Yeah.
Because they have this aspect where they kind of combined MOBA into it. You know, like League of Legends and Smite and whatnot. They kind of incorporated the sense that there are minions in the game.
Yeah.
Because because there are, I think it's 18 members on each team, 6 of which are actual players. The other 12 are grunts or specters, which are minions in the MOBA games.
That's an interesting concept.
They're easy to kill, and they give you points.
One thing, actually, before you break into that concept, have you ever really messed with Grand Theft Auto 5 online?
I haven't touched GTA 5 online in a long time.
Okay, so neither did I, right? And I finally did because some friends from on my gamer tag, they wanted to play. Let me tell you, Grand Theft Auto 5 in itself was pretty interesting, you know, for the story and all that. Multiplayer has to be like the best put together multiplayer in a while, because there's so many things you can do. You can set up heists with these people and just do a bunch of things. And I don't know, overall I loved the multiplayer for Grand Theft Auto 5. I think the time it took for it to come out was well worth it. And I understand why, because it was so huge.
Yeah, because I know Grand Theft Auto, their multiplayer got expanded a lot because you can now make your own maps.
Oh, can you?
You can make your own multiplayer maps in the sense that you make specialized death matches. Rooster Teeth has done a lot of stuff where they made their own maps and they do Let's Plays in it, and they're absolutely hilarious. Like, they'll take golf carts, tanks, buses, scooters, and whatnot, and just drive down Mount Chiliad. And whoever gets to the bottom first wins. And if you die, you lose. And essentially, it's just ridiculously fun.
Yeah, we need to do things like that. Except that requires, like, you know, more. I don't know where I was going with that one, honestly. We need to be in the same room. That would help.
Yeah, that would help a lot. Because we can only just talk.
Yeah.
There's no actual interaction, which is, mind you, it works. Because, you know, these podcasts are a thing. You know, Total Biscuit, Jesse Cox, and Dodger.
Yeah.
I'll say Total Biscuit's probably the biggest of the YouTubers that I just mentioned. But they do a co-optional podcast. Well, a podcast called the Co-optional Podcast, where they do it over Skype. They all have a webcam and they all see each other. So they do their podcast like that.
I mean,
and
that
they have
works.
Oh yeah, it works. They've been doing the podcast for a long time. They do about 3-hour-long podcasts every week.
That's pretty. I could see it.
It works. The podcasts are amusing. They're fun, and they talk about everything.
Yeah, I'm sure people are tired of seeing this map. It's really annoying. There's like 3 people in it, and it was just a giant map. Gotta switch it up. What team do I want to join? Blue or green, Chris?
Purple.
Well, damn. It's not one of those.
Green.
Oh, whoa. You can pick weapons. A minigun? Alright, I'm excited now. Oh man, I have found out about the greatest thing on this game. There are other weapons, and there are...
Of course there are. It's an FPS, isn't it?
Yes, but every game I'd ever joined was just a rifle. Now I have sniper rifle, miniguns. I can pick my own weapon layout.
Gotcha.
Except they started me in a really ridiculous place. Like, if I jump down, I'm gonna die. But that's good, I guess, for a sniper.
I can't wait for Elder Scrolls at the end of March. Well, at the end of March for me, technically. I get to play it the very last day of March because I pre-purchased the game, so I have 5 days early access.
Oh, look at you.
And on top of that, I have my free month.
Is this gonna be the standard 15 rate? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not too bad. Aha! Come here. You polecat, you. This game, let me tell you, there's something going on here, and I don't know what it is. I don't even understand what's going on. Like, I don't see blue anywhere. And there are no snipers to snipe. Alright. Landmines down. See you. Oh.
But no, it's going to be an exciting year for gaming since new consoles. And there are a lot of new games that are just taking stuff and pushing it to the max.
That's always a given when it comes to new consoles.
Destiny is going to be amazing. Titanfall is amazing. Elder Scrolls Online is really fun. And I'll say amazing on the fact that it's an MMO. All MMOs do one similar thing in common. It's an MMO. It's going to feel like an MMO regardless of how it looks, but in how it plays.
I mean, yeah.
It's a good game. Don't get me wrong. It's really fun. It's really enjoyable. But in the long run, it's still an MMO. And it's still going to boil down to grinding when it comes to endgame.
Oh, yeah.
But,
I'm definitely going to, at least try it out, of course.
the new Lord of the Rings game, I can't remember what it's called. Shadow to Mordor. I just know that's the second title for it. Shadow to Mordor. Looks absolutely outstanding. And the game is still in alpha, technically. And the alpha footage, you can go check it out on YouTube. The alpha footage looks absolutely phenomenal.
Does it?
Just, I think there's like a 10-minute video that you can watch. It's absolutely, one, it looks gorgeous. Two, they have a system in it that no other game has ever put in. It's called the rivalry system. With the rivalry system, you basically have, obviously, a rival.
Yeah.
And it's going to be, I think it changes over time. I can't say for sure. But you have a rival. There, I think he has some odd amount of underlings that you can kill to, or force to work for you.
Yeah.
In the sense that you are the Shadow of Mordor. You are, can't really say if you're evil or good because I don't know that much specifically about the game. But you use your, I think it's Spectre powers. I could be mistaken. If I am, well, fuck me. But you can use your Spectre powers to control enemies and turn them against their leader, your rival.
1 second. I have like a weird itch in the back of my throat. I won't go away.
Gotcha. But no,
The system sound interesting.
It's never been done before. That's why it's interesting. Because I've never even heard of a rivalry system in any game at all, ever. But
No, I definitely hadn't either.
what they're doing for it, you can either take out all the underlings for him and turn them all against him, or kill him and just diminish his army.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can take out a select few and turn them against him and basically act as a double agent for him.
Yeah.
And act as an assassin. So,
That's pretty
say you take out one or two of the underlings and
Yeah.
you turn them against them. You use your Spectre powers to make them your ally. So they'll fight for you. Say, and then you just go after the big guy next. The big guy won't know that the underlings you took out are on your side. So you can use them to your advantage. In the sense that you can have them
It sounds pretty.
basically stab him in the back and betray him. And in a fight, you just take out a nice chunk of his health.
Sounds pretty solid.
Yeah.
Like, I'll definitely have to try that out then. Is there any more information, like release times, or if it has released yet?
No, it has nothing besides what I've really said. That was the main thing they wanted to show, is the rivalry system, to show that it's new and it's interesting.
I mean, yeah, that's the way to do it.
They're catching your attention. Something new. New and shiny is essentially what it is.
Yeah, if you want to attract somebody to a game, just add something that no other game has and make it extra polished.
Exactly.
I mean, that's pretty much how you have to do it now.
You have to have something innovative. And again, that's what Destiny's doing to an extent as well. They have this whole drop and play aspect where everyone is in, I don't want to say everyone, but the majority of people are in a persistent world, and you can drop into their world for certain events, like a big event. Like, say how Rift has these big rifts.
Yeah.
Rift events, you get a big boss, big enemy to fight. Not Titanfall, fucking Destiny's gonna have a similar aspect.
That's cool. Oh, snakes.
That you'll basically just join in with other people to fight the big boss, and after that you'll scatter and go back to doing what you're doing.
Yeah, and then no one wants anything to do with you again.
But you will eventually run into other people. They can either decide to fight you, or they can decide to be your ally, which would be another game-changing aspect for it.
That would be pretty interesting. Leroy. What kind of... Who makes these maps? I swear to God. Right, the whole entire game is filled, yet I can't find one person to shoot. How do these people have lasers on the end of their guns? Alright. Oh, never mind. Taking all your resources. See ya.
But no, if you want to go about ending the podcast, that'd be fine. 'Cause we're just passing the 2-hour mark on the Skype call.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. We've ran our course, so it's probably a good time to put it into it. We've talked about everything we know, or that we want to talk about, even in this podcast.
Yeah, I got my points out. I got Titanfall out. Got Destiny, Elder Scrolls Online. Got those out. So yeah.
Yeah, we definitely did good on covering all the games we wanted to cover, and included some awesome footage of me dying 1,000 times.
Yep.
Can't get much better than that.
No.
Alright, guys, thanks for tuning in, and thanks, Chris, for joining the podcast tonight.
Yep, I'll be here whenever I feel like it, essentially.
Yeah, he'll be popping in whenever he wants. Me and Reed are, like, filming the weekend stuff, and me and Chris will be whenever we want, pretty much. And hope you guys enjoyed this, and...
Wait, before we completely disappear.
Okay.
Another guy that'll be joining us on occasion will be Joey, another good friend of ours. He's big PC gamer, big StarCraft nerd. He's Grandmaster. He's top 5 in the U.S.
Oh, yeah. Good old Joey.
Yeah, but he'll be with us on occasion.
Yeah.
He'll probably be with us for the Elder Scrolls stream/podcast that we put out.
Yep. You'll have to look forward to that. But I think that's all we have to say today. Again, thanks for tuning in if you do, and I hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you next time.